This Black History Month, we're highlighting the cultural history right here in Central Georgia. Many soul makers from the golden age of Macon's music scene in the 60s and 70s have long since passed, but one award-winning Macon musician remembers this time very well. Our Jessica Chaw spoke with him about how far a kid and his trumpet could go and what soul music means to him.
You will see the Temptations, the Miracles, Marvin Gaye.
That's who Newton Collier grew up seeing roll through Macon, but music has always been in his family.
My mother, aunt, grandmother, and I think my daddy were all musicians. I was around a lot of guys that played in the church bands. I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Collier started taking piano lessons at age 6 from one of Macon's first black female band leaders, Gladys Williams. She opened his eyes to a whole new world.
Any given time you go to her house, you might see anybody there. Walked in, there was Sammy Davis Jr., and he was playing trumpet. And so I asked him basically, hey man, that sounds cool, let me try it. Boop, I made a nice, I said, wow, you could be a trumpet player.
And so he was. He took up the trumpet at the age of 10 and played till he graduated high school, playing with bands like the Pine Toppers, Otis Redding's original backing band on the Chitlin Circuit.
The Chitlin Circuit was made of a lot of clubs strung across the South.
At a time when black people weren't allowed to perform in white establishments, the Chitlin Circuit were black-owned nightclubs and dance halls. Macon was one of the main stops.
So you had James Brown musicians, you had Little Richard musicians, all these different bands coming through town.
Collier played trumpet with several acts but belonged to none until he got picked up.
I ended up getting a permanent job with Sam and Dave.
Grammy Award winners Sam and Dave took their R&B soul music and Collier on the road to the Apollo, Madison Square Garden, the Ed Sullivan Show, and around the world. Collier toured with them for over 20 years.
The dream come true was to be sitting at home in Macon, Georgia, and looking to see Thad Jones direct the band on the Ed Sullivan Show. And now Thad Jones standing there watching you play.
Music was everything Collier had known, but one night in 1976, everything changed.
I worked at a club called the Sugar Shack. That's in Boston.
Collier was the person who took all the earnings at the end of the day and deposited them.
2 miles from the club, I would say, and I saw this car behind me.
Someone in the car was following Collier, and they shot him as they drove by. He was wounded in the leg and the mouth.
They had to take all my teeth out on this whole side because it just smashed up everything.
Collier gained a mechanical jaw, but lost the ability to play trumpet. He wouldn't even be able to try for 5 years.
Without music, there's no life. Why you think the birds sing? Why you think the wind blows? That's music.
In 1978, Collier was given an electric trumpet. He can play it by humming into it. He says it's not the same, but at least he can play music again. He still thinks about the golden days of music.
At one time, I said, I never want to steal another hotel, never want to ride another airplane. I do it all over again if I had to.
Collier came back to Macon in 1988, the place where his love of music was born. Jessica Chaw, 13 WMAZ News.
Great testimony, and I'm so happy that we have him here with us still today to tell that phenomenal story. Newton Collier now dabbles in a little of everything. He owns Mid-South Travel on Cherry Street, and he still goes out to listen to Macon's music.